Yo, what's good, Josh? Your boy J Suave. I am the host of J Suave TV. It's almost that time of the year again. A new Game of Thrones spinoff is on the way. Titled The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We finally got the first trailer for the series sometime last week, and I really liked it. I'm not gonna lie. So I just want to come on here and give my quick thoughts on the trailer, while also providing some very early expectations on what I expect to happen throughout the season. I already know what y'all gotta do. If you like anything at all that I gotta say in this video, just like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all those things. Appreciate y'all for 600 followers on TikTok. It's only up from here, I promise. Literally just got done rewatching the trailer, and I peeped in the comments that this series is only getting 6 episodes first season. I just hate seeing that. I'm not gonna lie. Especially for a franchise as big as Game of Thrones. I understand this is a spin-off of the OG series. But still, if you associated with Game of Thrones, the IP in any way, you deserve at least the same amount of episodes as the spin-off that came before in House of the Dragon. That's just my opinion. But I think a reason for the 6-episode output for the first season initially is because this series is a very clear departure from House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones that came before. For the first time in the Game of Thrones franchise, I genuinely feel like I'm about to watch a series that's gonna have me cracking up throughout. Obviously, we know House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones have a lot more serious situations going on. Not saying the same will not be had in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Just from the trailer alone, we see the main character Duncan going through his own vices after the man he squired for, Sir Alan of the Penny Tree, passes away at the very beginning of the trailer. It says that Arlen charged him to be a good knight that was a defender of the innocent and the weak. He intends to honor this word, but it won't be without a couple challenges that he has to face along the way. One of those challenges being able to get this character, who in the trailer seemed to go by Egg, over to Asheford, where if he's successfully able to do so, he says he will squire for Ser Duncan the Tall. And the interaction is funny because he's literally asking him, so what, you know about every knight in the Seven Kingdoms? And bro's like, oh yeah, the good one. Basically saying, you not shit yet, boy. This is your first season. Probably the pilot episode. You still got a ways to go. Love the dynamic between these two off the rip. That conversation between the two where Ser Duncan tells him, look, I'm gonna go get some things in the town. If you rob what I already got, I'm gonna get my dogs for you. And bro's like, you don't got no dogs, man. Barks at him, and bro actually shakes at that shit. Like, I'm really liking the comedic direction that the series is going, keeping a serious tone at the same time, because Ser Duncan, he sees more for himself than just being a hedge knight. The people around him, his betters, are constantly seeing him in a light that's not where he sees himself in the future. Calling him a stable boy, laughing at his ambitions to be better, where it's seeming like bro just feels like he has to be this cog in the machine and not strive to be more than he currently is at this point in time. And to become the knight he wants to be, he's gonna have to go to these trained specialists, years of experience. He even asked the Baratheon of this series in the trailer, what chance do I have at being great like that? And bro's just like, none. These niggas have been outside. Where's your resume? He was on that Penny Tree nigga's farm just getting water and stabling horses. You don't got a bag for real. What he doesn't know is that Ser Duncan the Tall and I guess Egg see a falling star at some point in this trailer. It's at this point where Egg points out to Ser Duncan that luck beholds those who see the falling star, which to me indicates some good fortune, aka some valid plot armor hitting this main character at some point in this season. That's gonna set him out throughout the rest of the series. We shall see. In the trailer off with Ser Duncan saying I need to fight honorably, but sometimes I feel like I buried my courage alongside the old man, which makes sense why he's been feeling how he's been feeling throughout this trailer, why he views those royal lapdogs as his betters, why he feels like the knight that he is currently is going to be the knight that he's viewed as across the Seven Kingdoms throughout the remainder of his life. Here we see Sir Lionel, but at the end, a conversation with Ser Duncan where he tells them, in every man there are many men, so be brave, be just, and be tall, like in your name. And that's basically where the trailer ends, man. I guess we zoom in on who I could assume is Ser Duncan riding out into battle with his fellow knight. And that's really it. But from what we got in this trailer, I can say I am looking forward to a Night of the Seven Kingdoms for sure. Love the early interactions between Ser Duncan and Egg so far. I feel like there's a lot more to Egg that we were not privy to in that trailer. So looking forward to learning more about his character, seeing more of that dynamic between him and Duncan. I also want to see what steps Duncan takes to becoming a better knight throughout this series. He's able to overcome his challenges in a Game of Thrones world with no magic and no dragon. I've heard this series is going to be one where you got to get things up out the mud, and based on the trailer, it's looking like I ain't seen no magic. I seen some fire being spouted out of a fake dragon. And that goes to show that dragons are definitely extinct, at least up until this point in the series. Maybe they're still flying around the select few that's left from the events of House of the Dragon, but I kind of doubt it. But if they are, I don't see them being a central force in this Game of Thrones series. And you can't have dragons in Game of Thrones series and not have them be some type of central force, I feel like. They're just larger than life beings. So at this point, don't even throw them in the series, in my opinion. I've seen people mad that there potentially won't be magic or dragons in this series. I'm just like, bruh, like, I want every series associated with Game of Thrones to be the same. Just say that. This series is taking a chance, being different, focusing on what it means to be a knight in this world. The road you got to take to become a better one. And I respect that, and I'm looking forward to seeing this story unfold. Also, people, the tagline saying a century before Game of Thrones, two unlikely heroes wandered Westeros. So, Egg, what you about to do? You gotta be one of them two heroes, gang. You're on the cover of this story. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what both Duncan and Egg get into in this series. Looking forward to the comedic bits, the story development, and just seeing all of what they have to give us in this 6 episodes before we have to wait another 3 to 4 years for season 2. Also looking forward to seeing what that Baelor Targaryen is on. That name wasn't just a throwaway. Clearly there's a Targaryen that's going to be a part of this series, and I want to see what they add to it. Is he a Targaryen bastard? Is he a remnant of their incestual phase in House of the Dragon? We have to see. What y'all think of the trailer? Are y'all excited for this new Game of Thrones spinoff series? What are your expectations? Are you excited for a series potentially with no magic and dragons? Leave all your thoughts in the comments. I've been host Jay, so I hope you've been entertained, and we go talk soon. Peace, y'all.